Well, good morning, Internet. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Devin from Broken Enduro. Out here in Ocotillo Wells today. A buddy of mine invited me out here for an overnight. They're up there on a quad and a side-by-side. I've got my youngest out here on a quad. Just figured I'd get out and goof around. I've not been out here in a long time, so. Anyway, I've been meaning to do a long-term review video on the 350 because I just broke 200 hours. A lot of people have been asking me like questions on mods and overall impressions on the bike. So I'm going to kind of blab about all that stuff. 200 hours on a KTM 350 exc-f. It's a 2018. This thing has been absolutely phenomenal. It was a great bike to jump into, to learn on, and then it still does everything that I want it to do now. I ride with a bunch of guys on 300 2-strokes and 500 4-strokes, and I hang all right as long as it's not like wide open desert. But still, I rode this thing on the Barstow to Vegas, and there's a lot of wide open desert on that, and it did all right. My gearing is set up more for hard technical enduro riding than open desert, but I made it work. As far as like reliability and stuff goes, I've had a weird fuse issue and I lost my headlight, but that was like more my error than anything else. Goofy kid. My ground came disconnected once and I lost all power while riding, but that was my fault because I had just swapped the battery and I guess I didn't tighten down the ground well enough. And then I blew a fork seal on Barstow to Vegas. But other than that, like, I'm on top of the maintenance of it all. My valves have over 200 hours on them, and I check them all the time just because I'm curious, and they're still within spec, so I've never ever had to adjust them. So I'm not nice at this thing. It's not like race conditions or anything, but it's not been an easy 200 hours. Hammer it, kid! So we couldn't bring his dirt bike out here because it's up in Big Bear, buried in snow. So he's riding his sister's quad, but at least he's out here doing it. So now as far as aftermarket stuff goes, we'll go front, down, and back. So highway dirt bike, handguards, put these things on from like day one, small company out of Colorado. Things are indestructible, super awesome, integrated mirror. They sell dash systems so you can move your key and turn indicator. Really, really like them. I run the ODI Rogue grips on all my bikes. They're a little thicker, really soft, helps with those hand cramps. I've got the Mature Beast, I think it's 3.1 or 3.2 fuel tank, which gives me like enough range to go to the moon and back. I am the extra fuel bottle on most of our rides. Run the Baja Designs Squadron Pro XL headlight. I really like it. It's really freaking bright, but the adjustability is not there. You can't point it down enough, especially if you get into like technical stuff. For like open desert stuff, it's good. kind of see out where you're riding, out ahead of where you're riding. So I guess Moto Minded makes a plate adapter for it, where you get a little more adjustability, but I don't ride often at night, so I haven't messed with it. As far as luggage now goes on the bike, I still run the same Wolfman fender bag to carry a tube for someone else and spoons. Still have never had to use the tube myself. Use it a ton, but never for myself. And I run the Kriega tail bag. And that's got enough room for my toolkit and first aid kit. I think a bandana maybe or something like that. I don't know. So the problem I had in Big Bear with this bike was the internal fuel filter that's attached to the fuel pump. So most of KTM's service intervals are pretty ridiculous. You know, oil change hour 1, oil change valve check hour 15, so on and so forth. But the one that I would stick to no matter what is the fuel filter at 135 hours, if not sooner. Because I was at, I don't know, more than that. Killed the bike, killed the day, killed the ride. So no matter how you ride your bike, you're still going to be running the same amount of fuel through it. So I would just keep that in mind. So seat's still stock because it forces you to stand, and after 200 hours I almost have it broken in, I'm happy to say. Tires I'm running the Moto's Tractionator Enduros, IT in the rear, which is intermediate terrain, soft terrain in the front. I run a Moose, a soft Moose in the front, and tubeless in the rear, so I still have adjustability. The soft Moose is great, except for high-speed, hard edges, so you have to pay attention to your lines and how you're riding. Go, buddy, go! Got a fire-breathing dragon behind me. As far as bike protection goes, I run the P3 skid plate, the P3 heat shield, and the Enduro Engineering rear rotor guard. So someone gave me that, so I use it, it works. Haven't had an issue with it. And I love the P3 stuff, so like not only does it look amazing, but Jason that runs the thing is super awesome dude, super friendly, super helpful, stands by his product. He's helped the club out a lot. Really appreciate everything he's done. With the only things I've done as far as like performance goes is at hour 90 I put the Dirt Tricks cam chain, oh my god, I put the Dirt Tricks cam chain tensioner in. Oh my god, look at all the little mini bikes. It's a parade of babies. Alright, squirrel. Anyway, I put that cam chain tensioner in just because I've heard good things about it. And then I've got the JD Jetting piggyback tuner, FMF exhaust, You know, the big fancy blue one that looks horrible because I'm not nice to my bike. And then I changed the gearing, so stock on this bike is 1452, and I went down a tooth in the front to 1352. Livened it up. It's awesome in the technical stuff. It kind of kills first gear, like unless you are working through a boulder field. But you know, I like having that ability to do that, so. Didn't kill too much on the top speed. Still can cruise 65. Bike's not as happy, but yeah, dude, you're killing it. One of the new club affiliates is Reverend Motors. They make oil and lubricant products and stuff like that. They're here in California. Small family business. It's run by two brothers and a buddy of theirs. And so I've started using their oil, and I'm pretty stoked with it. I was using all super expensive Motorex stuff before. So I use the same quart of oil for all of the Barcelona Vegas ride and all of our Big Bear Hard Enduro ride. And I had no clutch fade. Bike was running like a top. Wasn't getting hot. I'm pretty pleased with their stuff. So I'm gonna keep running it. This place is like a Martian landscape. It's freaking crazy. Anyway, yeah, so most of us don't need 500 power. Most of us are good with 350 power. However you do it, you really can't go wrong with any of these modern dirt bikes. Get a bike, get out, ride, meet buddies, have a good time. That's the important part. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.